Holla, everybody.
They're just showing him get taken off the court right now on a stretcher.
Yeah, me and Corin are watching opening night for the NBA, and what's it? His name's Brandon Hayward, right? Gordon Hayward?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that guy just got his shit rocked.
OD. And first off, no one should name their son Gordon.
My friend texted me and told me it looked like Sid Vicious back in the day in WWF when he snapped his leg jumping off the top rope trying to like kick somebody in the face. His leg was like...
It turned into fucking spaghetti, dude. It was just, it was
right.
disgusting.
Is that what happened here? It looked exactly like that?
It was bad, man.
Everybody's face on the court was like...
They have, there's an account. Do you know Barstool?
I do, yeah.
So I follow them on Instagram, and they were like, we're not going to show you what happened, but like they did the video right above Gordon and like just the reaction to the Cavs bench. The shit just like cleared. People were just like, oh, like
everybody's face was like, oh. And what happened? I heard LeBron was involved in the play, right? Or no?
I think I didn't really see the play. I sort of just watched the injury, which was weird. I think he went up for an alley-oop or something and just came down from like high off the ground. Like it just landed bad and his leg just went in every which direction.
Could you imagine waiting all season, excited to get out there, and then that happens?
I can't, man. It was bad, dude. Like, it's just like, and like I can't watch that squirmy shit like that. Like I don't mind it, but something like that,
I can't watch it.
It seems so fake that for me, I watched it because it doesn't seem real. Like I'm looking at it like, all right, no one's leg's supposed to look like that, so I'm looking at it.
I can't do it. I can't watch it. I could stomach it maybe in a movie where I know it's fake, but in real life, no, I can't see it.
I know, but to me, it is real. It's really, really real.
But it feels
His leg
fake.
is OD broken.
Have you ever broken anything bad or no?
No, I never broke anything.
See, that's why I have.
Oh, and you just know the feeling of like that.
So when you look at something and it's out of place, you're like, oh.
In a way, I almost feel like it's better to break your shit like that and have it heal than like tear your ACL and MCL and all that stuff.
Well, I don't know. Apparently, that's one of the worst to get over, right? If you like an Achilles, a torn Achilles.
Well, yeah, torn, but like a break, if it's a clean break, it can heal better than like some tear or something like that. Or
yeah, a muscle tear is harder to heal than a bone snap or whatever.
Like they say, when you sprain your ankle really bad, it almost would be better if you broke your ankle because like the spraining is just lingering around forever and ever.
Really? Wow, I didn't know that, but that's crazy.
I mean, there's no science behind that.
Oh, I thought there was science behind
maybe
like a torn like ligament or something is really hard to, like they have to go in and surgically repair. Something doesn't heal itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know with a bone, you set it, you put the cast on it, and it'll heal.
Yeah,
but I don't think some things need to be surgically repaired. They can't they don't heal on their own.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a ligament or something like that, but. People have had like knee injuries and like Achilles injuries and shit, and like you need to and like back injuries. They have to like fuse plates together and shit. Yeah,
back surgery I heard is the worst.
Yeah, because it's hard to recover from it. People, everybody knows like the old man with the bad back. Like that's a fucking there's so many of them.
Yeah,
just dudes are like, yeah, I hurt my back in '89, and fucking, ever since then it just doesn't look the same or feel the same.
But all the like strain we put on our back now, like when I'm shoveling the driveway or something like that, and I'm fine at just like picking up mad snow and then just like throwing it off to the side. Like I think of like my dad who's got a bad back now.
He can't do that shit.
Yeah, but like when he was my age, he was probably beasting that shit too.
Yeah, it's just age, man. Your body just like slowly falls apart. It's just crazy.
It sucks to think that like I can do all that now, and it's like I'll shovel my whole driveway and like.
And then one day you're gonna be 80. And you can't do shit.
Not even 80, but like 65 or something, and just like in a lot of pain because all of the fucking shoveling I did when I was younger is weighing on me now.
I always think of Trump when we talk about these things because he's 71 and overweight, and he's still like limping around.
I mean, for 71, like he doesn't look like old.
Well, I said the same thing. I don't think he looks like he's 71, but I think a lot of that has to do with number one, actually the orange color of his face. Everybody makes fun of it. But, like, that makes it look, like, radiant. Like it makes him look more alive. The orange.
Well, yeah, you look more healthy. Like
yeah,
you
it's
look
like
healthy.
a vibrant color. Yeah, so people, oh,
have a
he
tan.
must be healthy or whatever. And then the hair, the blonde hair. That's an old white man trick. When you hit a certain age and your shit is definitely going to be white, and you can't keep dyeing it brown because it'll look too fake. You dye it like blonde, and you're like, what do you mean? Like you know, like, and people will look at it and at first glance from far away, they'll be like, is his hair white or is it blonde? And then you get closer, you're like, oh, it's blonde. And it just doesn't look horrible because I mean his hair looks horrible. I don't think because of the
disgusting.
color. I think because of the fucking way it's
Well, there was
slapped together.
someone did a segment on it one time that like there was some special hair treatment, something that was like stationed a floor below him in the Trump Towers that they thought he was getting like these hair plug treatments or something like that. Because like it was some illegal shit that the guy was doing, and like it was like stringing hair together, and somehow like Trump's hair looks exactly like what the guy was doing, and he was like in his building.
Did you see during the campaign when he like had a woman on stage and he was like, pull my hair, go ahead, feel it. Doesn't feel bad, right? It feels, because he knows like people make fun of it.
Or so when Jimmy Fallon did that corny ass shit.
Oh god, and that picture is going down in history of like him laughing with Trump and pulling his fucking hair. But I want to get back to the injuries. What's the worst injury you ever had?
I'd probably just say like a bad sprained ankle.
Really? You're lucky, man. You're lucky. You escaped childhood without. You weren't an accident-prone kid. I guess I was an accident-prone kid. But most people I've spoken to have had.
Yeah, but I don't really do
happen.
crazy shit. Like,
yeah, no, but you play sports.
Yeah,
that's all it takes right there. I'll give you a few examples. I'll give you a few stories of people who we know, who, and I could say, I won't say the last name, but one of them's Andrew. A kid, Andrew. You probably the first one you think of is the one that I'm talking about.
I'm thinking of like Andrew Jackson.
He went to our school.
After
the genocide, he went to our school and he was like, "Hey guys."
I'm Andrew Jackson.
So anyway, that kid, he was on our soccer team when I was a kid, and he was a beast. And he was like the number one scorer on the team. And there was one day when we were going to like practice or a game or something, and he went to go shut the door. He was grabbing something out of the car, and then he shut the door with one hand, and his other hand was still in the car, and he just broke his hand. She was like,
"Oh, you were there for it?"
I was there when it happened, but they just immediately rushed him to the hospital.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it was fucking crazy. I remember that, and he had a cast on. I remember him having a cast on for a while. And then the things that happened to me, I think I've told some of these stories before on the podcast, but I'll tell you again. My friend Mike, and your friend Mike, when me and him were kids, we were like best friends, and we would hang out all the time, and we used to play hockey like in my basement. We would like run around and fucking shoot little roller hockey ball around in the basement. And he took the stick back at one point and just, I don't know if it was my right eye or my left eye. They did a good job doing the stitches because you can't even see it now, or you could barely see it now. But the corner of the stick hit my eye, hit the side of my eye, and left a huge gash. And then they had to do stitches. And the doctor said if it was like an inch closer to my eye, I would be like blind in one eye. It would.
Damn! Imagine you had to go through your whole life with a patch on your eye,
or with a fucking fake eye. Yeah.
Oh, what? Yeah. Your whole life would be so different.
Oh, totally.
Because even though like you'd be the same person, people would just be like, "That dude has a glass eye."
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be the same person because I feel like I'm.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't be as confident.
I feel like I'm perceptive of how people are perceiving me. Like I can tap into what I think you're thinking in a social situation, and if I get the feeling that like I'm putting people off simply by me being there, I just won't want to be anywhere. I'll just be like, you know what, you guys are kind of right. Like and I'd feel like you said, I'd lose a lot of confidence and all that stuff. It would just be totally different.
That's such a good trait to have, that sense of like when you're having a conversation
sometimes
with
someone.
Sometimes
it's a curse, man. Sometimes it's a curse. Yeah, and I'll give you, it's funny you mentioned that because I was going to tell the story today on the podcast anyway that relates to this. So somebody had to come and take care of like, whatever, the heat or the AC for me, and just to get it like prepped for the winter or whatever. And the dude, he's a nice dude and stuff, but he's like a big time Republican. Like, I could tell from little things he had said here and there or whatever, and he knows what I do, but he's never checked it out, so he doesn't know, like, everything I think or whatever.
To what extent? Yeah.
Yeah, but like, I always, in a situation like that, since I just want it to be over, like, let's get it over with, whatever you got to take care of, you do your thing, here's the money, we're done here, you know? Like, I don't want to make it, I don't want to argue, I don't want anything weird to happen. So,
Sounds like air-conditioned prostitution.
And then he sucked my dick. No, I'm kidding. So anyway, he started like talking a little bit at one point about something political, and I just tried to, like, I hate feeling in any way like a sellout or like I'm betraying myself or my values and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I just wanted the fucking exchange to end. So he's like, yeah, NFL, huh? I'm like, yeah, NFL, man. Who's your team? He's like, yeah, I don't even really watch. I'm like, yeah, I don't either, man. And he's like, yeah. But now I won't even watch even more. Like if I flip through it on the station, I won't even stay there for 3 seconds. I'll go as fast as I can so that I don't count as a viewer for their thing. And I was like, oh yeah, man, I hear you. And
you
then
think he was referring to it negatively because of like kneeling shit?
Yeah, because of the protest.
Oh, really?
And I wasn't about to be like, well, you know what, man? That's like free expression, and what they're doing is they're protesting police brutality, and whether or not you agree with them, this is America, and they have a right to yada, yada, yada. I wasn't going to get into it. I didn't want to get into it. So I was just like, yeah. And there were like 4 or 5 different things like that were like he would sprinkle it into the conversation. And, like we were talking about, I think Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
And then he was like, Hollywood's exposed, like all these people who were big time anti-Trump, and then you see that they were doing like sexual assault and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, man. Like the first thing that popped in my mind when he said that was I wanted to be like Bill O'Reilly, Roger Ailes, fucking like every man on Fox News. Like who are you kidding? Donald Trump himself? Like you're saying anti-Trump. Donald Trump himself, grab him by the pussy. I don't even wait. But I was like, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. So I was just like, yeah, anyway, and I was like, change the topic and stuff. Mm-hmm. But anyway, my point is and times like that, I hate that quality that I have where I'm perceptive to what other people think of me, because at a time like that, if I didn't have that, I would just be like, nah, man, no. Like Kaepernick's right. Next question. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then that leads to a fight or like.
Well, that's my point, and I wanted to get it over with. Like, okay, look, you're here to do X, Y, and Z. I am a paying customer. Here, let's go through this. Boom, boom. We're done here. Like, I wanted it to be over, but still, somebody who was less perceptive, who had a lower ability to sense how others are thinking or feeling emotionally, they would just be like. They might have been like, nah, I disagree, and then still kind of kept it moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess it's more so on that guy for not picking up the cues. Like, hey, this guy doesn't want to talk to me. Let me just do my job and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's not that I didn't want to talk to him. I didn't want to talk about that shit.
Oh.
Like I didn't want to talk about that shit. Let's not get into politics, Especially when I'm gonna disagree with him on everything. Like I remember he had to do a job when. Like I think it was a day or two after Trump gave his speech to the RNC, and he was like, "What'd you think of Trump's speech?" And I was like, well, it was different. Like I said something like that, right? Something like that you can't assign a thing to it. And he's like, I think it was one of the best speeches ever given by any president ever. I was like, okay.
Some people are strange, man, and you wonder like how is Trump helping that fucking guy? Like he's not some businessman. He's probably losing his health insurance because of Trump, but he just fucking worships him. Yeah,
there's no way that he is actually helping that guy. He's probably hurting him in so many ways. By the way, I'm mad at myself today because I was trying to keep with our tradition and have my sour gummy worms before I came on air.
Yeah,
but I was full, and then I was like, I'm not going to do it. Let me just not do it, because then I'll feel better. I won't eat that shit, and I'll feel better later. And then as the time got closer and closer to us doing the podcast, I saw on Twitter somebody I thought it was like a sign, man. I don't believe in that shit at all, but somebody had tweeted a picture of like gummy worms or gummy bears. And I was like, oh, you motherfucker. So I was like, that's it. That's my sign to go do it. But then I looked at the clock, and the spot right near me was closed, and I was like, fuck.
Oh. So you sort of wanted them more.
Yeah, exactly. So last minute I was like, well, this is terrible, because I was like picturing sitting here talking to you, chewing on a gummy worm every now and then.
That's why I got these joints right here. Skeeties.
Nah, they're not my favorite. I like
No, I know, but this is what we have in our Halloween basket.
whatever's there. You're probably eating so many fucking Kit Kats and Reese's and fucking Skittles.
Mad shit.
I can just
Like
picture
Halloween
you
can't
all
come
day.
soon enough because I'm going through like the whole fucking like bowl. And my wife got mad at me. She was like, "I listened to the podcast last week, and like you were chewing your candy, and it was so disgusting." Like I was like, whatever. I don't give a fuck. So sorry if I'm chewing and that pisses people off out there.
Oh,
Today she texted me on my drive home. We usually get home around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, "I'm stopped at the gas station and I can't. My car's not starting." And I was like 5 minutes away. The gas station's like 2 minutes from our house. I was like, I'll be right there. Thinking like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. Like I don't know how to fix that shit. And to your point, I at first assumed it was like her battery, and then like some commercial came on my car, like as that was happening. It was like, is your phone battery or something? And they like said the word battery, and I was like, it's definitely
That's
battery.
a sign. Yeah. Remember the other day when I said to you, like, I want Wendy's, and then you just text me a picture of a bag of Wendy's, and you had just eaten Wendy's.
House that shit.
And I was like, that's another sign, but then I didn't get any Wendy's.
I know. I asked you, I was like, what are you going to do? You're like, nothing. I'm lazy as fuck.
Exactly. I was like, I'm too lazy to move, man. I'm not getting that, even though I want it badly.
So, son, I get to the gas station.
Oh, sorry.
My
I
wife,
cut off your story. My bad.
No, she's parked at the putting air in her tire because one of her tires gets low. And she was like, I pushed this like button, which usually is to start the car, and usually turns green and it's orange. So I look down at her shifter, and she's in drive, but the car is off. So that's why it wasn't starting. So like she'd been waiting for like an hour, and I was just like, put it in park.
Oh.
And push the start button.
That's so funny. Remember from back in the day, I would be driving, and our friend Jimmy would just throw the shit in neutral without me knowing. And then I'd be like, well, it's not working. The car's not working.
Yeah.
I don't understand. And he'd laugh, and then he'd put it back in drive. And I'd be like, you fucking asshole, don't do that shit.
Yo, sometimes when you're like the other day, so I have a Wrangler in it like when you're in drive, you can pop it over to like that Tektronix shit or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? You can,
Yeah. The thing where it's like
over.
semi-automatic, semi-manual. Yeah, I have that too. Sure.
And I accidentally hit it into that thing. And I didn't know what the fuck to do. Like
so you
I
were trying to go fast and it wasn't going?
Yeah, like I moved it down and it brought me into gear 1, and I was like pushing the thing and it wasn't letting me push it back into drive. Oh. And I was like on the main highway, so I was shook for a little bit. So I kept just fucking with it, and eventually it got back into drive.
Oh man.
I'm the worst handy, like figure it out as I go person, man. I can't figure shit out.
Me either, but you actually, like, the thing you figured out where it was in drive is actually kind of smart, because I probably wouldn't have even looked for something that simple. I'd be like, all right, pop the hood, let me take a look under the hood here.
No, it was while I was driving, so I was like fucking freaking out.
Yeah, but I'm saying the thing you found of your wife's. That's like, I wouldn't have even thought to look at something that simple. I'd be like, pop the hood.
You would have saw that.
You think so?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Said some stupid shit. Pop the hood. Let me take a look. And okay, I see you. Your carburetor's not working right. Is carburetor even a thing still, or no? Probably not.
I don't even know what I don't know what a carburetor is, but I feel like that was very common back in like the early to mid 90s.
What's your thoughts on cruise control? Do you fuck with cruise control?
Yeah, I love cruise control.
You love cruise control.
Because my leg, when you're putting pressure on one leg, like the other one starts to cramp up, or one of my legs starts cramping up after like
really
like 3.5 hours is my max.
You do long drives a lot, I feel like.
Yeah,
you do long drives a lot.
I'll put on cruise control, and now with my phone, I'll put it in my dashboard and put on like a movie or like my Xfinity. I can get like cable, like if a sports game is on or something.
You watch a movie and drive? That's so not safe.
My wife hates that shit, but like if I'm doing a diesel ass road trip from like Chicago to New York, I'm putting a movie on. Like you can't stop me. Like why can't I? Because of the law.
You're gonna crash.
No, but not when nobody's on the road.
Do you ever think of usually I could stay pretty positive and like I don't think about death a lot, but like when I'm driving and I'm doing like a long
mad fast.
when I'm doing like a long trip and I'm going like 75 or some shit or 80, I just think of like, what if one of my tires just blew right now, and my shit just skirted left or right, and it was like I could just die.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then I
shit could happen.
I hate roads where it's like the speed limit's like 50 or more, and there's no barrier in between, and it's you going this way and somebody going this way, and so like you're both going fucking 50.
Oh yeah,
Because then I always feel like somebody, like if somebody's suicidal, they could be like,
yeah,
and just pull right in front.
Yeah, accidents are no joke, man. When I was going to high school one year, I lived on the top of like a hill in New Rochelle, and it was like icy, and my sister was driving, and the car like caught some ice and just started going down the hill. Luckily, we crashed into like it was like a bush or something.
Yeah.
But if we didn't take that like route through the ice, we would have went straight down the hill, and who knows what like we would have crashed into or something.
That's such a scary situation. I remember my friend, it was my birthday. I think I was turning like 22 or 23 or something. And we decided to go to like Mohegan Sun or Foxwoods, one of the casinos. Mm-hmm. And so he was driving. We hopped in his car. We went to go stop and get something to eat before we went. It was like a bagel place or something. It was the bagel place in New Rochelle by the actual bagel place that's the shit. Like not the, it wasn't
like Go Bagels?
It's by that one, but it wasn't that one. It was a new one that was there for like 7 minutes. That was like,
I know it was across the street from like the pizza
Deanna's,
place.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So we were there, and so he pulls into a parking spot right in front of it, and that road's like on a little bit of a slant, nothing crazy, but just a little bit of a slant. And so we go to get out of the car. I was in the back seat, so I opened the door, got out. He was in driver's seat. The passenger got out too. He was in the driver's seat. Gets out, the car starts rolling. It starts.
And wait, no one's in the driver's
Nobody's
seat?
in the car. Nobody's in the car. It starts rolling. The door was just open enough where he like opened it, fucking jumped in, jammed on the brakes like a foot before he hit a car that was parked in front of him. Okay? But then wait a second, it gets better. So we were like, holy fuck, man, that was a close situation. Jesus, like that could have been bad, because and even whoever's car that is was definitely going to be pissed at you and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, okay, but we got it now. And then he gets out of the car. That shit starts rolling again.
Why?
And it hits the car right in front of him.
Why did it keep? Like,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it was like his dad's car, and his dad's car was manual, and he knows how to drive manual, but he didn't like. I don't know if it was stuck in neutral or some shit as opposed to park, or he didn't put the parking brake on or something. So it started rolling and hit the car in front of him. We go into the bagel place. He's like, fuck. He's like pissed because this shit, it was kind of new too, his car and everything. So he's like mad. And I feel bad.
This is after he hit the car?
He went after he hit the car, yeah. Because it was in a parking spot that he hit it. And so he just like backed it up and then stopped it. And then we're walking to the bagel
like,
store.
no one's getting bagels. We're out.
He was like, fuck. He was pissed about it. Turns out the guy whose car it was in the bagel store.
Oh.
But he was the coolest dude ever because it was like a pickup truck. It was like an old ass pickup truck, like kind of beat up. Now that I think about it, and my friend was like, "Yeah, I just hit the back of your car." Like expecting him to be like, "Okay, let me take your insurance and your information and yada yada yada." The guy was like, "Oh, that's all right." He's like, "That's it." The guy's like, "Oh yeah, I don't care. How's your car?"
Awesome.
And he was like, "It's all right, I guess." But I felt like a dick too because we were going to a thing that was for me, that was for like my birthday celebration, and then
so you felt guilty.
I felt guilty, and then guess what? I won the poker tournament.
Oh,
I won the poker tournament. I offered to give him money, but he was like, "Nah, man, don't."
Yeah, but that's not on you.
I know, but I felt bad because he drove. Like I feel like I probably offered to drive, and he was like, "No, I'll drive," and then that happened.
Yeah, I can't think of a situation, but that I feel bad sometimes too when you ask somebody to do something. Yeah. And they end up getting like fucked over.
Yeah, because I was like, "Oh, this could have been avoided so easily."
That happened to us so many times at the poker club. Like either like any of us would ask someone to go, and like someone would lose like $500, and then like someone would be like winning $1,200, and someone's just like,
"So true."
Fuck, man, I sort of feel bad. He's over there losing. And like,
well, it happens so many times that like let's keep it real. I was the worst at cash games, and like I get knocked out quickly in cash games, and I just sit there, and whoever else was playing, I'd just be like, all right, so I'll just like chill here for a while.
Yeah, just like fucking wait. Yeah, I fucking lost tons of money and then just had to wait and wait and wait for days.
You were better at cash games than me. You would always like. I feel like it was kind of often that you would win. Like there'd be nights where you win.
Yeah, cash games I was better at, but tournaments I just couldn't. That wasn't my shit.
And I was the opposite. I'd lose every fucking cash game I played. But then again, I never got too much into it though. Like if I lost 200, I'd be like, that's it, I'm done. Mm-hmm. Like I would never be like, give me another 100, give me another 100, give me another 100.
Yeah, I was the opposite.
Yeah, you would.
Like, give me another 100, give me another 100, give me another 100.
That's true, yeah. But
you ever get into a big car accident?
I was just going to tell that story next. So this one was fucking terrible, man. So it was the day after. I'm so stupid. I'm the dumbest person on the planet. It was the day after I got my full license.
Oh, damn.
So, like, I had, like, the permit one, and then you get, like, the junior license where you can't stay out past a certain time or whatever. This is
Didn't
what it's like
change with us where we had to wait, like, 6 months or some shit? Like, something
like
stupid.
that. I was just going to say, for people now, I don't know, like, people listen to the show all over the U.S. and all over the world, but, like, in the U.S., there's probably people who have states where there is no, like, permit, junior license, driver's license, or whatever, or the rules are different. For New York State, first you had a permit, then you had a junior license where you had, like, a curfew or whatever, and you had to have, like, a senior driver in the car or something, and then you have your senior license. For me, the day after I got my senior license, I was with a friend. I won't say his name and blow his spot up. He was part of the scene of the crime. And, we were driving to a place we called it Buckout Road, or it was called Buckout Road.
What the hell did you do at Buckout Road?
It's like, there were so many dumb, like, high school stories surrounding this place that were just, like, all fake, where people be like, yo, you hear that on Buckout Road, there's, like...
I never even knew about this.
A bunch of albino Eskimos that live there, and, like... They'll chase your car if you drive there.
What the fuck? I never heard of Buckout Road.
It was just, you never heard of this? It was all just stupid fucking stories, and none of it was true. But it basically what it was even without that shit, like without the myths, it was just like a creepy looking road, basically. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So we were going there, and I was driving like a fucking idiot because I was an idiot, and there was a sign that I missed that said like slow turn. 15 miles an hour or some shit.
Those are the worst ones.
And I was going like 40.
Yeah, those will get you.
Straight crashed right into a wall. Side of my shit was all fucked up. First day of it. I was.
What was the first thing you did? Did you like call your parents or some shit?
No, we like kept driving it. I didn't even want to drive it at that point. I think I gave
your
my
shit was
friend,
fucked up. Like
it was fucked up. It wasn't. Well, the good news was that it was the Blazer, so it was like a big kind of truck thing. So it's really like sturdy. So it was fucked up, but it wasn't anywhere near totaled. But you know, we hit the wall. I was jamming on the brakes, but we hit the wall going probably 30 or some shit.
Damn.
So turned, hit it, and then. It was like creaking like I'll never forget that noise, man. I was so pissed off and so distraught, and I felt so stupid because I gave my friend the keys, and I was like, I'll sit in the passenger seat, you drive. I don't want to drive anymore. Like, I felt like, no, I just didn't want to live. I was like, fuck this shit. So I gave him the keys. He was driving it, and all you heard the whole fucking ride home was like... And it was like the sound of failure every time I heard it. And I was like, And then, I like probably made up some story and was like, somebody hit me. And my parents
Those were the worst when the accident would happen at night. And it's just like, all right, it's probably not that bad. And then the next day when the sun was coming up and you see your car.
Oh, that's such a good point. Son, I did that exact same thing. I was like, we pulled over, I looked at it, and it was like a classic like scene from a movie where one person's like, it's not that bad, right? And the other person's like, yeah, it's not that bad. And then you stare at it for like a minute, and then I'm like, that shit is bad, isn't it? And they're like, yeah, that shit is really bad.
Oh, dude.
And then
you can't fucking trust friends or whatever. That shit happens with me with haircuts sometimes. Like, because like in the haircut spot, like, I don't know, you just got your shit cut.
Yeah, you'll focus on the good parts, and you want to be nice to the barber, so you're like, yo, this is good.
they give the mirrors and they they put some water in the shit, and then you go home and really look at it and you're like,
he zeked my shit.
This shit is fucked up.
Yeah, the uneven fade, one side's like higher than the other. Yeah.
And I'm too nice to say something. I went to some random spot out here, and the girl fucked my shit up. Like, her hands were shaking on my head, and like the fucking clippers she was holding like in some weird fucking angle I've never seen before. And like, I knew my shit was getting fucked up too. And
I'm too nice to say anything too. I wouldn't say anything.
I paid and left.
Me too. I have the worst story for that. You probably remember this too. For prom, mine got fucked up.
Oh no, I don't remember that shit.
So I used to wear it with the fucking, spiked up the blowout that was hot back in the day. Now we look back at the picture and we're like, what the fuck is going on then? But so I was into it. Like, yeah, I want to get mine nice. I want to get a nice line, nice tape up on the sides, blowout. Give me that skin tight on the sides. And so I went to the spot I usually went to, but it was busy, and they sent me to a new barber. And I even said beforehand, I'm like, I don't know about this. I don't know about
that's always the worst move.
I want that. I want him.
The flyest barber will always be like, oh, try out Ron. He's nice.
Exactly.
And you're just like, come on, man. Like, I've been waiting for you. Like,
so this dude was like, believe me, trust me, I've been doing this for a while. Like, I got you. I was like, all right. So I sit down in the chair. Son, like a minute and a half into it, I'm like, he's fucking my shit up.
Oh.
Because at that time, I was anal about it, too. I was like, it's got to be nice. Especially,
haircuts were the shit back in the day.
Especially for fucking prom. Like, you're going to go to prom. And so, but it was so bad. And he pushed my lineup so far back.
Damn.
That I had to wear my hair down when I used to spike it.
I remember that.
Now you remember it, exactly. It was so fucking bad. And then afterwards, this motherfucker had the nerve to say to me, like, see, I told you I've been doing this. It looks good, right? I was like, oh, yeah, it looks good.
I would have gotten tight at the first dude, like the main dude you were waiting for. Yeah. Like, fuck you, man.
I don't think I went back there afterwards. I think I was done with that place, yeah. I was like, fuck this place.
Fuck that place. I think I remember that prom when your shit was down. I was like, yo, why is your shit down? And you're like, my shit is zeked.
So bad. So bad. Yeah. Worst I've ever had, man.
Damn. Yeah, I've had some bad haircuts. I had a bad one out here, but I'm at to like a point now where I don't give a fuck what my hair looks like.
I don't care anymore either.
And you trim your sideburns a little bit, like and you're okay at doing it. I try and do it, and like I fucking fucked my hair up. Like half of it was faded here, and like this shit was not faded here. I went to work the next day with it. I didn't care.
Yeah, that's you hit a certain age, man, and you're like, I really don't care. Like there is gonna come a day when, in the battle of me versus my belly's just gonna win. There's gonna be a day where my brain just taps out, and it's like, you're done here. You're done. Go have the pizza. Go have the burger. We're done here. Wrap it up. You're not going to win.
I think all the fast food and shit that we eat isn't... I mean, it's bad, and it will contribute to a belly. But people who drink a lot of beer, that's really when you start getting your belly.
That's true. But for dudes, that's like a very common thing for dudes, even if they just overeat, that like you'll see a dude with super skinny legs and then just a gut. Like that's not uncommon. That's because that's where dudes have their fat deposits mostly. Like women... there are women who can have their, like, most fat deposits in their legs and their ass. And it's like, oh, so you're going to look good no matter what you do.
Yeah, that's true.
So, it's more, the fat more disperses there than goes, like, to the belly and stuff, so.
It's weird how, like, women hate gaining weight like that. But you're right, they gain it in their legs and their ass.
Yeah,
and,
like they can. There's some that get it in the belly and it doesn't look as good. But, like, if a woman gains most of her weight in her legs or her ass... Guys are like, okay, eat more.
There's nothing wrong with it. Yeah.
I mean, I would actually prefer that I didn't get. I wish I had, because there are dudes that have like big legs too. I would rather have fat go to my legs than go to my fucking belly.
Oh,
There's
me
nothing
too.
worse than the skinny fat, man. The skinny fat is the ugliest thing in the world. Where you got skinny legs, and if you haven't worked out in a while, skinny arms, and then you got a belly.
Awkward belly.
It's just fucking gross. There's something about that that's just disgusting.
Yeah. I'm getting that belly, but it's not too bad just because I don't drink that much beer or anything like that. I really think beer is like, there's guys on my softball team that they're skinny dudes, but they just drink a lot of beer, and you could see that belly coming. You could see them putting on the weight.
What were we at our worst in terms of how many beers we could house and then like still be like, like how many beers would it take for us to get drunk at our worst when we were drinking the most, I mean? We never
we
really
would go to
drank that
Mickey's.
much.
Yeah, but we would go to Mickey's, have like 5, 6, and still be good.
Yeah, but and it was over a period of time too. It wasn't like
Was it like what, like 2, 3 hours or something like that? Well,
3
we
or
would
4
play.
maybe.
We'd play trivia.
We play trivia. Yeah,
We'd sing karaoke,
sing karaoke. That was fun.
and then have like 3 more beers, like to end the night,
Yeah,
sitting at the bar maybe.
yeah.
Or no, we would. Trivia karaoke would be its own thing, and then some nights we would just go and sit at the bar and maybe have like 5, 6 over like a period of 3 hours, and
true.
have some like a dinner or something.
I
like
never
that.
really got like drunk. Like I very rarely got that. You know, like when you see people and you're like, that motherfucker's drunk.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever really got like that.
Yeah, I don't think I've either. I mean, I think maybe I have and I haven't realized. I don't have a tendency of like getting wild. You know, when I drink, I still feel like I'm mellow. Just maybe.
Yeah, I definitely don't get the angry drunk thing. I mean, it obviously exists, and there are people who get angry when they're drunk, but
or beer muscles or whatever.
But yeah, but I always just felt kind of like you. Like I would just feel like, I don't know, just mildly more outgoing, basically. You know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you can get like a little sloppy, but it wasn't sloppy in like a I'm mad sense or sloppy in like a gross sense. Like I've seen people who get gross sloppy drunk.
Yeah.
And it looks terrible. It's like, don't stop. Like I don't get people who like it's almost like I hate to use this example again, but it's just such a good example for people who've seen the video. Like when Tiger was taking those pills and he was so fucking zonked out of his mind that he could barely
He was
speak.
done so. Yeah.
Like I don't get what is it that makes people want to get to that point? You know what I mean? Because it's obvious that exists, that there are people who want to get that out of their mind, like on fucking Neptune, like fucked up. But I always thought, like, why? I don't get why is it not that people want to just get to a point where they're just like, if they're looking for a downer high, then just get like a little more relaxed, or take enough of a substance if they're looking for an upper high to get more up and focused. You know what I mean? Like, what is it with the ones who want to be on fucking Neptune? I never got that.
Some people want to be just fucking unconscious and not even like realizing what's going on, you know, because maybe they just want to be, I don't know, disconnected from whatever the fuck is going on in their life. Like Tiger's probably got so much shit going on in his life that he's probably just like, I just want to be on another level where I'm not even like.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's the whole point, is to like not feel anything.
Yeah.
Like they're not trying to tweak their mood where they feel a little up or a little down. They're trying to just create a whole new fucking thing.
Yeah.
They're trying to be a zombie to just, but like, why not go to sleep if that's the case? Like that achieves that state for me. If I like, oh, you know, I'm kind of tired of everything that's going on right now. I just go to sleep and be like 8 hours later, be like, all right, I think I'm a little bit better.
Yeah. That's true. Some people can't fucking sleep.
Have you ever had insomnia?
Well, not insomnia, but my fucking dog every morning, like I wake up to her like licking her vagina like crazy, and the sound is just so obnoxious.
Licking her vagina.
I wake up at 6 every morning, and at like 4:45, 5, I hear like the most intense, and like dogs' tongues are mad long, so like she's like making crazy sounds. Like her tongue, she like it comes out of her mouth and then licks it again. So I gotta get up, fucking yell. I'm like, Bella, go to bed. Like stop.
Shit. Oh
Dogs
my
are
god.
crazy because they have access to like lick their shit down there.
Would you do it if you could?
Probably.
Yeah, I probably would too.
Like I don't blame her. She's probably got like a really clean.
But that's her cleaning it. That's not her like trying to like bust a little doggy nut.
But do you think? I don't know. What do you think it is? You think she pees and there's just some like residue there? Like something?
I don't know.
But it must feel good. It must be enjoyable. It's not because she's cleaning it. It feels good.
Maybe. I don't know. I would guess that it's just for cleaning, not like trying to get a doggy nut. Because I've seen dogs trying to get a nut, and that shit is gross. That shit is like, they look like people would, like fucking pumping and
humping and stuff.
Yeah. We've all seen that.
But not a girl dog. A girl dog doesn't hump.
Yeah, you're right. But what do they do when they try to get a nut?
They lick their fucking.
Maybe. That's. Maybe that's true.
But every morning, man, it's like clockwork. Here,
There's some, it's funny you mention that, man, because there's some sounds that I just get so fucking annoyed by sometimes, and some sounds that don't bother me. Like sometimes other things that'll bother other people don't bother me.
Does it bother you when someone scratches their fork or knife on a plate or something like that?
No, that doesn't bother me.
No, not even like that.
Nope, that doesn't bother me.
Nails on like a chalkboard?
Sometimes nails on a chalkboard will get me. Yeah, sometimes nails on a chalkboard.
I really like the chalk.
You know, like there's there in podcasts with certain kind of mics and stuff. Mm-hmm. If a guy's got a little bit of cotton mouth, you could hear like the.
Oh really? I feel like you could hear that. Can you hear that on my mic?
No, you never had this issue where like there's weird like mouth sounds that make me like grossed out. But I've heard on podcasts before gross like cotton mouth noises that just make me, I don't know, they just irk me. And I think one of the reasons it annoys me so much is that other people don't seem to be that annoyed by it. So
yeah,
like everybody else
like that wouldn't bother me.
Cool with it. Yeah, like everybody else cool with it. And I'm like,
it'll make you not want to listen to it.
It's almost gotten to that point. Like I'll usually bear with it, but it's almost gotten to that point a few times. You know. Damn.
I don't realize that. There's a few things that bother me, like chewing gum. Sometimes will get to me.
Sometimes that gets me, but sometimes I don't care at all. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it gets me. Sometimes I don't give a fuck at all. It's weird. I don't know why. Sometimes it triggers me.
I guess it's probably just our moods too. Maybe like if you're in a good mood and someone's chewing their gum, you probably don't give a fuck. But if you're pissed off,
I don't know if it's the mood or if it's okay. So here's my weird theory. It's got to be something like this because I've noticed this before too. So there's like a leaf blower or a lawnmower where if somebody's doing it like 100 yards away from me and I could just hear it a little bit through the walls, it's like that shit will drive me nuts. But if somebody's like leaf blowing or mowing the lawn like next door and it's a little louder, like that doesn't bother me.
That's weird.
So I don't know if it's like some like level
subtle
of vibration in my ear where they're triggering like a certain fucking frequency that makes me like lose it. Like, you know, remember the old episode of South Park? It was a classic episode of South Park where they make up this thing called the brown noise, where if like you play this noise, then everybody shits themselves. If you play this tune on their fucking, like, you know, they got their clarinets or their flutes or whatever it is. I think it's clarinets. And they're doing like this nationwide clarinet song. All the kids from all the high schools get together and they change a note in the thing to be the brown noise. And then, and then at the end, they play the brown noise and you just hear... And then you see cuts to like a news thing and they're talking like, and it's been 2.5 hours since everybody in the country shit themselves at the same time. So I feel like there's the equivalent of like the brown noise, but for my fucking sanity. Like there's a fucking vibration that makes me lose it. But
it could be a different level, like noise fucking things that trigger your like brain or some shit.
Yeah.
Like something further away. Today at work was getting me bad, man. You ever charge your phone with like a bad iPhone charger and it makes that sound and it's like that's not the sound, but I can't make the sound. Mm-hmm. But it's like a dinging sound sort of, and it just keeps fucking making that sound.
In, out, like it's charging, it's not charging, charging, not charging, charging, not charging.
Son, that shit pissed me off. Like the lady next to me today, it kept fucking doing it.
Yeah.
At one point I was like, I have a charger. Just please use this. Like, stop with that. Oh. It's like, yeah, it's going in and out. It's like, I can hear it.
Repeat it like you didn't know. Like, yeah, it's just happening. Like, I know. That's why I'm fucking mad. That's why we're talking. That's why we're having this conversation.
Yeah.
That happens with...
frustrates the shit out of me.
I get that with... there's a computer that I need for the show for editing and uploading and a whole bunch of other stuff. And... it's got that issue with like the charger where it'll like it just doesn't hold the charge, like and it always makes a noise like beep 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 beep, and it'll just go in out in out in out. I'm like, oh motherfucker, come on! Like if you're gonna get in the market to like make laptops, that one's a PC, by the way. I use Macs as much as possible because they're more reliable. But there's a significant number of things for the show where I'm so wedded already to PC that we just have to use PC.
Yeah.
But shit, what was I saying? I was saying something
about the sound or the battery charger for that shit.
Oh yeah, like if you're a company that's gonna make a fucking laptop to try to get in the game, like fucking cover the basics, son. Like don't skimp on the fundamentals.
Yeah.
Are you gonna make it so your charger's fucking bunskis? No, make a good charger.
Yeah. I hate that shit. The new iPhone, it has so many fucking problems with it. That's pissing me off right now, man.
Mine never doesn't have the battery issue. At least not yet. My old iPhone did. 100%.
Oh no, my battery's good. It charges good. I usually use like shitty chargers, and that's when like that charging goes in and out.
Shitty chargers. That's what happens.
But this shit, you can't charge it and listen to your headphones at the same time. It's
you
the same
can't do
fucking
that.
jack.
Yeah.
And someone was like, "Get the wireless headphones," and I was like, "One, no, shut the fuck up." Like, and two, those shits look mad weird. Like it looks like it looks like you're missing. Just it doesn't look right.
Well, I'm curious to see. So let me ask you, because you might even know this already. I just don't follow it close enough to know. But did the newer iPhones that they also don't have the headphone plugs?
Yeah, I don't think any of them have that.
Okay, so they
jack.
stuck to it because there was a minute there where I thought they might go back on it because it was almost. I feel like it was universally negative feedback when they got rid of them. Everybody was like, "I don't get it. You should have fucking put it in. Why are you trying to be all edgy and futuristic when this isn't even a big deal?" Like they made it seem like this is the next thing where you don't have it plugged in, and it's like, yeah, but what if it doesn't really bother people? You know, like what if that doesn't bother most people? So then you're not advancing. You're just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't know, because maybe it is going to be the case that at some point that shit will catch on. But I'm just saying that it seems right now unanimous that people are like, I don't know why you did that shit.
There's some shit you shouldn't, like, there's some stuff you just shouldn't change. You know, they're just like staples. Like making a belt without fucking clasps or like without like clasps or like just changing shit that's universally, like you said, just everybody says that's how it should be. But Apple just changes whatever the fuck they want and people still buy it.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what'll happen with these companies as time goes by because like we were talking about last time, it's easy for some of these to just become blockbusters. Mm-hmm. Like you're just dominating the world and then 8 years later you don't exist.
Yeah, but that would never happen with an Apple or something like that, man.
It could. I'm not saying I think it will. I'm just saying anything could happen.
Yeah, that is true.
Because there are companies that were like fucking Woolworths, right? Is that what it's called? Woolworths?
What's that?
Woolworths is like the big ass store that sold like everything.
Oh, the Wiz?
The Wiz is another one. Like these stores all went bankrupt.
Caldors was OD.
Caldors was another one. Now I was just trying to think of the name of that one. I was trying to remember it. That one, like these.
Kmart's going out. Sears.
These were all huge, and nobody would have ever thought. If you told people fucking Woolworths will go out of business at some point, they would have been like, "No, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard."
Yeah,
but
that's
then
true.
They just go.
Yeah. Sports Authority was a fucking huge thing that it just
Authority was big.
It's out right now.
Wait, oh yeah, they're done. They've been done.
They're all done, but it's crazy. The
is Modell's done yet or no?
No, Modell's is still holding on
for 3.5 minutes. If I could short them,
Sears is holding on by deer threads right now.
If I could short, I mean, I guess I can. There you go, guys. I just gave you a tip. Short Modell's because that shit's going out of business at some point.
No, they're still like holding
short
it down.
Modell's, that shit's going bankrupt at some point.
Toys R Us, we thought that shit would be around forever. Fucking Jeffrey.
Toys R Us. Remember KB Toys too back in the day?
KB Toys, yeah.
Was that in the Galleria that was in? Was that
what
it was?
There was one in the Galleria, and then there was one on Central Ave too.
And then there was Cross County, the Dragon's Den or some shit in Cross County.
Yeah.
Remember all these places?
My stepbrother used to work at KB Toys, and like when the Razor scooter came out, he would take the garbage out and put mad Razor scooters just like in garbage bags, put it by the back dumpster, and then just
people
like take those shit.
Yeah, when I worked
Hopefully like KB Toys executives listen to your podcast.
Not that they definitely don't. When I worked at I don't know if it was it was some,
there's definitely people that worked at KB Toys. Sorry,
there was some like pharmacy type store, like a CVS type store. I'm not gonna say the name of it that I worked at when I was younger, and we used to do the same shit with Crest white strips.
Oh really? Yeah, they're still mad expensive.
We did the same shit with me and everybody. Like, and it was amazing how quickly we all got like to know each other, and how quickly somebody brought it up. We were all just like, "Yeah, I'm in." Like you would think like it would take a while before people gain trust and see like, is this about to go down? But like it was like 3 days in, they were like, yo, so what we do is we take the Crest white strips and we put them by the dumpster over there. I was like, oh, all right, I'm in.
I'm with it. That happens that happens there, but then if you think about it, that happens with like the UPS, the fucking post office, and they're stealing like Jordans, TVs, like Christmas time, mad shit's not getting shipped. They're getting stolen.
They they actually work a certain amount into their budget, believe it or not.
Really?
Like they work a certain amount of it into their budget. Like we expect X amount basically to be lost or stolen. Into different, all the different companies do that.
Yeah, I mean, how do you? I guess you sort of can track that back to a driver if like. Packages are missing from his
if
truck
somebody
or
makes a
something.
pattern of it, they'll get caught. But if you do it like that, nobody got caught.
It's
What are they
hey,
gonna do? Fucking $35. What are they gonna do? They'll fire you.
hey Kyle, that 70-inch TV that was on your truck this afternoon. That's the only thing that didn't get delivered.
Like, oh,
it must have fell off the back of the
new
truck.
phone. Who dis? This is a close game, man. You seeing this game?
They were down by mad points, Boston.
It's close now.
I still feel so bad for Gordon Hayward, man.
I know. That's like, because everybody knows that feeling of like really looking forward to something and then it just getting ruined. And his is ruined on another level where like, he's gone for a long time now. And then he's got to, can you imagine? Like, think about like Kobe Bryant when he went through this. Like all these players who have gone through this. Derrick Rose went through it like 82 times. Yeah. Where like you get injured and you have to find a way to like shut off your mind and not like even want to go out there on the court and like practice and get in physical shape. So you have to commit to not caring for a while. And then after a while when you've healed, then you have to commit to doing it again. So like it's like these waves where it's like you have to not care at all for months, or else you'll drive yourself fucking crazy. And then when it's time to go again, now you got to have the same level of determination that you had before, if not more, because you got to get back to the level you were at before and then try to get better.
And he was just at a point where he was in that lull point, like first game of the season. So everything before that, he wasn't playing the whole summer.
Yeah.
So he was in that like not really rev it up mode.
And now he was looking forward probably to coming back and starting, and then boom, this happens. Now he's going to be out at least a year. That was a compound fracture, man.
That shit was bad. His leg was in a lot of directions.
Oh, did you see, you probably didn't see it. Maybe you saw it on Twitter. I retweeted it a while ago. At the last WWE pay-per-view event, Shane McMahon jumped off a fucking tremendously high cage.
I did see that.
You saw that, right?
Yeah, I feel like he did that before. Someone did that before.
He did. He didn't do it off a cage, but he did it off like the Titantron thing, like the screen. Like he climbed up to around that height and then jumped off.
Free jumped?
But I think this was, and went like elbowed somebody or something on a table.
Wow.
But like the same shit happened here, but I think he was even higher this time. He might have been. Somebody could fact check me on that if I'm wrong, but I think he was even higher. He was like a normal cage match in WWE. I don't know how many feet it is, but he was double that. He was like 2 cages. He had to be up there at least 20 feet. Probably maybe damn near 30 feet. He was so high, man. He was just so high.
And the dude moved out of the way, right?
Yeah, that was obviously planned.
Obviously,
but it was so funny when I retweeted it and said something like "holy shit" or whatever. And like the number of idiots in my mentions who were like, "Wrestling's fake. It's like, yeah, asshole, I know it's fake, but he really jumped off that fucking 20-foot or 30-foot cage. Like, that it's fake doesn't mean that shit was CGI and he didn't jump off that thing. Like, he jumped off that fucking thing.
He still jumped off of an OD high fucking cage.
So, like, those guys get, like, very little credit for doing a lot of real shit. Like, that's real. Like, what he did was real. Like, the fight was fake, everything's planned, yada, yada. But he jumped off that fucking big thing, and then you got idiots who were like, yeah, but it's all fake, it doesn't matter. It's like, what the fuck do you mean it doesn't matter? He could have killed himself doing that thing. What are you talking about?
Even the moves they do, like fake punching, they're still getting hit. Like it still takes it's still an art and a talent to like power bomb somebody and like them not break their back. I told
this story before on the podcast, but me and my buddy used to trampoline wrestle back in the day.
Backyard wrestling.
Basically, when we were kids. And we would bring out the fucking ladder, and we'd jump off the ladder onto the trampoline and shit. And we had fake blood sometimes, and we had a kendo stick. We'd hit each other with a kendo stick and with chairs and stuff, and we would do those moves on the trampoline. And it's easier on the trampoline because the trampoline's got some give to it. But yeah, there were times where we recorded a lot of the shit, and I think it's been lost in like the multiple moves that we've all had, which is sad because I would love to look. If I could get my hands on them, then upload some of it to the YouTube channel, people would fucking shit themselves and be like, "Oh my god, this is crazy."
You're gonna have people pleading for that shit.
I want to see that.
Like,
Believe me. Or as much as everybody wants to see it, I want to see it just as bad. But we can't.
Wait, so where do you think the videos are? Oh,
they're gone. They're gone because there's been countless moves that I've had and that he's had, and then like his dad still lives at the same place where we did all the wrestling and stuff. But you know, his dad's had a few girlfriends, and one of them like cleaned out the closets and shit, and probably threw out the tapes, and we couldn't even find his fucking like old school N64 when we went there, and we were looking for that shit too because we had created characters on like No Mercy and
also, all those
games and
Warzone. Warzone was my shit.
All those, and we couldn't fucking find it, and it was really sad. But one of the things my friend did, he went to do like a double front flip. This wasn't in a match. This was just fucking around on the trampoline. He wanted to go do a double front flip, and his head, like his forehead hit, and his legs like went over his back and hit on the trampoline, and it looked like he straight up broke his neck. It looked like he straight up, and he was laying there like in incredible amounts of pain. And I was like, "You all right, bro?" And he was just like breathing heavy, and I'm like, "You're okay." Like I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. Turns out he was fine. Like he just had the wind knocked out of him, but it could have been bad. Like, and the point is that even though sometimes things look super fake and are super fake, like that shit is dangerous as fuck.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, we even in the winter, like we would do matches in the winter when it's fucking freezing outside and body slam each other on the frozen ground. We weren't fucking around. We wanted to be wrestlers when we were kids. The classic little boy move.
Yeah, everyone. Those guys at WWF and WCW, like legit fighters, that's like the NBA. That's the top level. The best shit is when you watch like these like lower wrestling like events, and it's just like some weird like local wrestling event. Those guys do some crazy shit. Yeah. Like I saw like a upstate New York like Rockland County wrestling. They were like jumping off the top of like a store building on like a burning table. Like those guys are nuts.
It's ECW, man. Old school ECW from back in the day. They would do shit like that. They were like the lowest federation of the ones that were out there. There was WCW and WWF at the time. They were big. And then ECW was like more new and like what you're describing. So they did a lot of hardcore shit where there's like they'll throw tacks on the ground and fucking do shit like that, and you're like, oh no, don't do that.
And it's like they're fucking full bloody, like it's the lower level shit that like have no big corporations behind it that do like more like bigger stunts and crazier shit.
Have you ever seen the movie The Wrestler or no?
Now who's in that? What's that guy's name?
Mickey Rourke.
No, I heard it was dope though.
It was good. It was a good movie. There's a few movies like that where you hear about it and you're like, come on, man. But then you watch it and you're like, oh, that was actually really good. Like, the one that always stuck with me was Snakes on a Plane. I was like, this shit is going to be so stupid. And I watched it and I was like, it wasn't that bad. It was better than I thought. Like, it's not a bad strategy to, like, almost make a preposterous movie, like a ridiculous movie, like, based off the title, and just make it something so silly that everybody's going to laugh at you. But then they go see it and they're like, this isn't bad.
I got to give Snakes on a Plane a chance, but you remember Malibu's Most Wanted?
Yeah, that's Jamie Kennedy, right?
Jamie Kennedy, yeah. That one's another classic.
I think that guy follows me on Twitter.
Seriously?
I think he does, yeah. I got to check that, but I'm pretty sure he does.
Oh, that would be awesome. He was like, he was hot for a minute.
For a while, and then what happened? He fucking fell off.
People started realizing that, like, shit was corny as fuck.
No, but, like, it's fucked up how that happens. Like, you remember Tom Green from MTV?
Tom Green, yep.
I fucking loved him, man. I was like a little kid, and I remember my parents took me and my sister on vacation with my sister's friend, and we went to Florida. My grandmother used to have this little, like, condo in Florida, and she never really went, but she, like, let anybody in the family, if they wanted to go. So she had us go. We all went there on vacation, and I was, like, a little kid at the time. I don't even know how old I was, but I was young, and, like, that girl, my sister's friend, was like, "Oh, watch this. This is funny. This is the guy Tom Green." And I watched it, and my fucking mind was blown because the whole show was just him fucking with people. Like, he would just fuck with people. He's got so many legendary, like, clips. Like, one of them, there's this old guy, and he's like, he's doing his show, and he's got a microphone, and he's got the camera guy, and he's like asking him, like, sir, where are you going? Like, what are you in the middle of doing? And the guy's like, it's none of your business where I'm going. And he's like, what? Oh, why are you mad? Like, you don't want to tell us where you're going? He's like, no, I don't want to tell you where I'm going. And he, like, flips out and, like, fucking takes the mic from him at one point and starts trying to beat him up and stuff. And Tom Green is running away. And I remember as a little kid, my fucking mind was blown. Like, this is the funniest shit ever. And then as I got older, I didn't watch it, like, starting from then because I don't think my mom let me because I was a little kid. But then once I hit, like, an age where I was old enough, I would, like, sneak and watch it. And it was just fucking hilarious how he fucked with people. And then he's another one where he kind of fell off the earth. Like, he had his show on MTV was super popular. And it was just like him fucking with people. Then he got, like, too famous, so people knew who he was when he would fuck with people. Then he did those movies. He did, like, 2 movies. Like,
he did, like, Road Trip or something,
Road Trip
right?
was one, and then Freddy Got Fingered was his movie. Where, it, like, that shit was so weird, and people, like, didn't get it. Like, so they hated it, and he got, like, terrible reviews. And he was, like, dating Drew Barrymore or something. But then he got, like, ball cancer, and he, like, recorded the ball cancer for his show.
That shit was so weird.
And then, like, he, like, kind of went away. But he went away for, like, 10 years. And then now he's just recently kind of showing himself again in that he's doing stand-up comedy now. But,
is he?
He's one of those guys who was so fucking famous, and I thought he was so fucking badass, and he just disappeared. And I'm like, how did this fucking guy disappear?
I think also with, like, the generations, like, you grow up with them, and all of a sudden, like, the younger generation is like, all right, we don't really fuck with that. Like, we grew up with TRL. Carson Daly was the man.
Yeah.
But then as we got older, like, he was getting older.
Yeah.
So, like, younger kids are like, I'm not watching TRL anymore. That shit sucks. Or they, like, started listening to their iPods.
Totally true.
Like, no one was watching Tom Green because, like, the next shit was coming out, you know? Like,
yeah, that's true. Like, that's me dating myself and, like, being in my own bubble where I say, like, he was so famous. Like, no, he was probably at best, like, B-list famous or maybe even C-list famous. But since he was famous to me, I was like, this dude's the most famous person ever.
Yeah.
You know? Like, that's what it is. So there are probably people listening right now who are like, who the fuck is Tom Green?
That's what I'm saying.
Like, there's some people listening who are 18, 19 to this show, and they're like, I don't know who the fuck that is.
Yep.
But for those of you who don't know who he is, and even people who do know, I'm telling you, you won't regret it if you go back and just look up Tom Green on YouTube and look at his old clips from his
videos,
show.
Yeah.
Because, like, I do that from time to... Like, there's some things that will never not make me laugh. One of them is Tom Green clips where he's fucking with people, doing his little skits. I think they're fucking hilarious. Because they're, like, the perfect mix of, like, just fucking with people, but also being, like, weird. Like, he's not just trying to fuck with people to, like, hurt their feelings. Like, he's doing it because he's just weird.
Do you think that withstands the test of, like, time?
It did for me. I don't know if it will for everybody else, but it did for me, where I watch it now and I still think it's hilarious.
Because that's like when our parents, like, show us, like, some old, like, some of the Three Stooges shit can sort of be funny.
Look at Jack Benny. I have a funny Jack Benny clip for you.
Like, for them, they're like, this guy was the man. You know, he was funny as shit. And it's like, you could show Tom Green to a kid and he'll be like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, maybe other people won't feel that way. But then I'll have to admit the other thing that I still think is funny to this day, even though I know I shouldn't think it's funny. Kenan and Kel. Yeah. I still fucking laugh at Kenan and Kel, even though it's so obvious that the humor's made for, like, 13-year-olds.
Insanely, like, I'm going to pour this soda on the floor, and this guy's going to slip on it coming up to the counter.
And I'm laughing like, today. I will still watch episodes today and laugh my ass off.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was just magical to me, man. Kenan and Kel episodes are just magical. It just always fucking makes me laugh.
Now, too, with, like, kids and, like, older kids, teenagers, and, like, SpongeBob and shit like that, because, like, they take clips from it and, like, either, like, remix it to some funny shit that relates to them, or, like, SpongeBob does some funny shit now, too, where it's, like, it's funny.
What's your take on, have you seen Rick and Morty or no?
Nah, I don't know who the fuck that is.
I haven't seen it either, but it's like the new big hot shit.
It's on TV?
Yeah, I think it is. It's a cartoon. I think it's on TV.
Is it like a Ren and Stimpy?
I don't know. I haven't watched it. That's why I was asking you what you think of it.
What is it? Big and Morty?
Rick and Morty.
Oh,
Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty?
And, yeah, but like the fan base is getting a lot of shit because they apparently like the people who watch it, like there was an episode of Rick and Morty where they had something about McDonald's Szechuan sauce in there and like how one of them wanted it or something.
Like the sweet and sour sauce?
The Szechuan sauce, not sweet and sour sauce. Back in the day when there was when the movie Mulan came out, the Disney movie Mulan, they came out with Szechuan sauce that was limited time. And but so it was been gone for a minute, but something happened in the show with Rick and Morty where they wanted Szechuan sauce or whatever, and like then all the fans of Rick and Morty, like a bunch of them showed up to McDonald's like screaming for Szechuan sauce. Like it was so fucking obnoxious. I've seen clips of people jumping on the counter like, I want Szechuan sauce, like screaming.
Seriously?
With these poor minimum wage workers standing there like, sir, please get down from the counter. Yeah, it's weird.
Are they real people, Rick and Morty? Or are they cartoons?
Just cartoons, I think. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna look that shit up. I'm curious.
Yeah. People love the show though. People think the show is awesome. But I think I was gonna say that Rick and Morty today is like what Family Guy was for us. I think.
Okay.
But then again, there are probably Rick and Morty fans who are our age though, so maybe that's not a good analogy. But like, okay, so here's a hard ranking for you. Ready for this? Simpsons versus South Park versus Family Guy. Go.
I think for me it's Family Guy, South Park, then Simpsons.
Family Guy, South Park, Simpsons.
And people will probably argue with that strongly, like because Simpsons fucking has withstood so many generations.
That's why I'm asking this question though, is because that you're right that people are going to give us every possible order with those three. Like there are going to be some people who say the exact opposite of you, and there are going to be some people who agree 100% with you.
What's it for you?
For me, it's okay. So it's really tough because I almost want to put South Park and Family Guy as a tie. I almost want to put them as a tie. I really like both of them. And Simpsons, yeah. I've spoken about this before, but when I was a kid, that was the one show my mom didn't let me watch.
Seriously?
Yeah, like the Tom Green thing. I'm kind of joking. Like she never actually said like you can't watch it. But it's almost like I was afraid to watch it and have her like walk in or something, the Tom Green thing. I don't even think she knew anything about who the fuck that guy was, so she wouldn't have cared. But like Simpsons was one when I was a kid. She was like, you're not allowed to watch that. Wow. I was like, really? And it's so funny now because you look at what The Simpsons does, and it is like not even controversial.
No.
Like I don't even find it controversial. Like Family Guy was way beyond Simpsons in terms of pushing boundaries.
100%.
And that's the thing about Simpsons is that people who are typically, this isn't for everybody obviously, but typically people who are older than us will rank Simpsons as number one because they grew up more with The Simpsons. And for them, like The Simpsons came out in like early 90s or 80s even.
Some shit.
And back then they were pushing boundaries. Like they were pushing boundaries for back then.
Yeah, but pushing boundaries was just like talking about like current event stuff that was going on, right?
Well, yeah, they've always kind of had to mix stuff like that in there, of course, I think. But my point is pushing boundaries in 1987 is not that's not very risque because come the year 1998, everything that you thought was edgy in 89 or 87 is not edgy anymore.
Yeah, come 2017 where you could fucking do whatever the hell you want.
100%. So, yeah, that's why I agree with you that I never really watched The Simpsons. And from what I have seen of it, I was like, meh.
It never had me like fucking belly chuckling like sometimes when Family Guy or South Park would do something.
South Park has me fucking dying, man.
Like OD.
Yeah.
Like South Park, I'm sorry, Simpsons, sometimes I would watch it and they would do something creative and I would just be like, oh, that was actually like a pretty smart scene.
Yeah.
But nothing that I would be like, oh, Bart just fucking took his skateboard and shoved it up the guy's ass. But we also like stupid comedy. Like,
well, that's Family Guy. Family Guy does their and they took a lot of shit for even doing this kind of humor. But when they cut away from whatever's happening and they go to like some random ass thing, like Peter's like, that's like the time I was skiing in fucking Toledo and
Pamela Anderson.
Exactly. And then they'll just cut to it, and that shit is hilarious every time.
I love that shit, man.
Have you ever watched King of the Hill?
Yeah, I didn't fuck with King of the Hill. My dad likes King of the Hill a lot. So for some reason.
I didn't mind. I didn't dislike King of the Hill. Like I watched a few episodes of King of the Hill, but yeah, it doesn't click with me as much as Family Guy and South Park click with me.
Yeah, I don't think it sounds weird.
It feels like Midwestern.
It feels Midwestern, and it was never like colorful enough. Like the colors were sort of dull.
I know that feeling.
If do you like, you know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but I was gonna say I don't get that with King of the Hill. I don't know why I had a brain freeze there, but I get it with sometimes when you watch cable news. Like when I watch cable news, like Fox News's colors are fucking boom, like in your face, bright and nice. I like the way that looks. And you turn on one of the other ones like CNN or MSNBC, and it's just not as bold, and it's like up your color game a little bit.
Yeah, the color is so important. I still, to this day, people could hate on me, people could clown me. If Arthur's on TV, I'm watching that shit on PBS.
You love Arthur, yeah.
I love Arthur.
Yeah, I used to watch that back in the day. It was good. Magic School Bus. You used to watch Magic School Bus too, or no?
I watched that shit a little bit. Yeah. Thomas the Train sort of would be my shit.
I watched Fraggle Rock when I was a kid and Muppet Babies.
I don't know Fraggle Rock. Muppet Babies, I think I know.
Yeah, Muppet Babies. I used to watch that shit all the time.
And I never really fucked with Cartoon Network like that because their color game was sort of whack.
I don't blame you, but I watch Cartoon Network and I watch Nickelodeon. I watch both.
I think Nickelodeon like would have like the colors would be popping more in Rocko's Modern Life, Hey Arnold, Rugrats. There would be some dull episodes. As
I got older, so when I was a kid, it was Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. That's all I watched. And then as I got older,
Saturday morning started coming out.
Cartoon Network, and it was just Nickelodeon, and then I started incorporating MTV.
Oh, yeah.
And then as I got older, it was like MTV and the Scrambled Porn Channel where I try to catch a tit and jerk off. I was like, let me see an ass cheek. Can I get an ass cheek? Oh, my God, I think that's an ass cheek.
You would just hear the sounds and have to have the volume on like level 2.
Yeah. Oh, that's the worst. When you got to do the jerk off where you're like, at any moment, somebody can open that door.
You got to put the volume at some level where you're like, can you hear this outside the door? And I can't really hear it, so I'm going to push it up one more level.
I've never been caught, but I have been my name called, like, while I'm fucking nutting. Like, I'll be jerking off. It's like, Kyle! Uh-huh. Kyle, are you hungry? And I'm like, mid-nut, and I'm like, no.
Oh, man. That's
Every guy's had that experience, man. Every guy's had that experience of, like... You kids, you can't get away. And then when I was young, when I like started jerking off when I was younger, I wouldn't be able to do it without lube. Like I needed lube of some kind. And then I remember one time I was at a lube, and so I used like soft soap, like the soft soap. Remember that? Like it's like liquid soap.
Yeah, it's so good.
So I used that, and then like fucking burns. Later on in the night, my dick was like peeling. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? And then I realized it was the soap, and I was like, oh, I can't use that again. But then next time I wanted to jerk off, I didn't have any lotion, and I used the soft soap again.
Oh. I think I did that with my contacts once, man. Like they have these new contacts where they have to sit in water for like six hours or something like that. And bright red on the carton on the outside of it says like, don't put this directly in your eye. So obviously one time I put it directly in my eye. I put it directly in the eye. I'm like a fucking
Wait. I'm not following the story. So you're supposed to have the contacts sit out for a while before
you put the solution in like the special holster and leave it in there for 6 hours.
Those are weird contacts where you have to leave them in the thing for a while.
Yeah, it's common for contacts now. It like is like the best way to clean them or something like that.
Oh, so they don't want you to use it right out of the package anymore for the kind you get.
Well, I have dailies now, so I throw them away every night.
Okay.
But if you have like monthlies or weeklies, you put them in this 6 hour like concoction and like the bubbles come up and all this stuff. And on the thing it says like, don't put this directly in your eye. So the first time I got them, I was like, that shit can't be that bad. Like, and it probably cleans it a little better if you just put it directly in your eye. My eye was donezo.
Yeah.
But me and you, we know we're stubborn, so it's like, let me try that shit one more time and make sure that...
Yeah, like, I'm good, I got this. Yeah, and then you don't got it. No, but I'm used to contact issues because I still have contacts, and every now and then, whenever people see me wearing glasses on the show, it's because I got to give the contacts a break.
Yeah.
I'm the opposite of you. You have the dailies. I have the ones that you wear for like a month straight.
Oh, look at LeBron's jersey fucking ripped in half.
Oh, shit. That's crazy. I've never seen that before.
What the fuck? That shit looks so weird. My bad.
Was he fucking at the end of the third quarter? What is that? Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Your contacts. You know what I hate? When you fucking wear your glasses and someone's just like, "Oh, are those real glasses?"
Yeah. Yeah, that's like, no, I'm wearing these because I'm trying to look like I have seeing problems.
I hate that shit, man. It's like, why would I wear some fake glasses?
I mean, that did become a thing though, where people do it. But like, I've been fucking blind forever, man. I have the worst eyes ever. My eyes are so bad. But I have to wear. I wear contacts that like for a month straight, and then sometimes when they start bothering me, I'll take them out, and that's when I'll put my glasses on. But yeah, sometimes like if there's like a little tear in your contact and you go to put it in your eye, then your eye, it's like your fucking eye bugs out. Or the worst, when there's like a little tiny piece of hair on your contact on the inside of it, and you go to put it in your eye, and that little piece of hair is like stuck there. The amount of pain you get from that little piece of hair being on the contact is like unbelievable.
Yeah, it's like a fucking knife being stabbed in your eye, because especially if it's like a fresh haircut hair.
Yes, the little ones, the little fucking
those are the
prickly
worst.
bastards. Yeah.
Oh, shits are the worst.
But I don't think I'd get this surgery because I don't mind. I don't mind the contacts that much. I don't mind the eyeglasses that much.
No, I'm scared about the latex.
Cleveland wins.
Kyrie.
Wins.
That shit sucks. You just lost.
You just lost after being traded.
And your like main players. Look at J.R. Smith.
He's like, yeah, man. They're all acting like they still love him.
How do you remember a handshake like after a whole summer off of not seeing someone?
Not for nothing though. Like they need to reel it in a little bit with the handshakes because they have a different one with everybody.
Why does he have a handshake with Channing Frye?
Yeah,
that's like me and you having a handshake with some random kid from a science class in like 11th grade.
Yeah. Like they were on the same team for like 3.5 minutes and one of them never played.
Who's like the most random?
I don't know why they like. Did they not realize that they look like little kids when they like? I'm with it if they do like a little bit of their own handshake. Mm-hmm. Like but you can't do the fucking like they're doing double dutch or something in the middle of the fucking handshake
with everybody.
Yeah, with everybody.
Like if you have one with one boy, that's okay. Like you and LeBron want to have a handshake, that's all right.
Yeah, but you can't do the like.
Nah, too much handshaking.
Yeah, they're doing like the Macarena, and then it's like, why stop? You look like little kids, man. You guys are grown ass men, and you look like little kids right now.
Damn, I'm happy the NBA's back. Next game's gonna be hot. Houston. You've always fucked with Houston. They're playing Golden State.
But back in the days when Tracy McGrady was, he was the shit.
Well, like they still have a soft spot in your heart.
A little bit, yeah. But now they have Harden.
Yeah.
And who else is with him now?
Chris Paul.
Yep. That's a good team now.
You're about to have Carmelo, but then he went to OKC.
They're going to be crazy. But it's true, though, that the league is stacked as fuck now. Like, there's a bunch of really good teams, and everybody else is going to suck donkey dicks.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't. How do you feel about that? I'm not sure how I feel about that. Because it's almost like the regular season, why even have it? It's like you already kind of know what the playoffs are going to be.
That is true. Just minus like the last couple teams.
Yeah, exactly. Like the seed you might not get right, and there's a few that are a wild card there, but you know certain teams are going to make the playoffs, and you know who's going far.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think the players are still so good. Like the NBA is so marketable that like the players are just so fucking good. Whereas like NFL, that shit's boring. So even the good teams, like I could watch them play just because they're performing at such a good level. You know, like Golden State's gonna whack.
One superstar per squad.
I don't think it would be as fun. I think it's almost.
You wouldn't like it as much if it was like one superstar per squad. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but like we're the Knicks, for example. Like we're perpetually shitty, you know. And if there was some way to try to like ameliorate these super teams, then the Knicks, but also every other team that never really does well, would have a better shot.
Well, do you like watching a news show if they have like all powerhouses on there of people you like? Or do you prefer if they're like spread out?
I don't know if it's analogous because I feel like how many teams are there that really have a shot this year in the NBA?
Probably like 4 or 5.
Yeah, like if that was 10, wouldn't it be a little more exciting if it's like you spread it out a little bit?
Yeah.
But again, I don't know what rule can you put in place that would make it so that it's not so stacked. But you're right. There is something exciting though about thinking about like.
Well, even NBA on TNT, like they have 4 freaking bangers on the show, like Shaq,
Yeah,
Ernie, Kenny, Chuck.
but
Like,
you're right.
those are all awesome commentators in one show.
But it's not like with NBA on TNT though. It's not like you have like them talking every night, and some nights it's the worst hosts. You know what I'm saying? Whereas in the NBA, some nights for games it's like the worst teams.
Yeah.
But there is something exciting though about thinking of like a stacked team, like Chris Paul and James Harden, and thinking of fucking now you have not the Derrick Rose and Dwayne Wade they're way past their primes, but then with LeBron, like thinking about that's a cool thought. Like, oh, what Russell Westbrook and Melo? That's fucking crazy.
And Paul George.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
like that's a cool thought. But then like once we start actually getting into the season here, it's gonna be like, well, we're like 3-12, and now I wish they spread it out a little bit.
Yeah.
But you also just got to blame the Knicks for that. Like that's on them.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll be better than? Do you think we'll be around 500 or no?
Oh hell no! They're gonna be bad.
They're gonna get their buns waxed
every night.
Every night.
Like up and down, wax job.
The Bulls are ranked.
The
Bulls are ranked as probably the worst team in the league. They said.
Yeah, and they just had a player punch one of their other players in the face.
That's why. Yeah, that's why they lost somebody who was gonna make them not the worst team. Like they were gonna be second to last, and now they're last.
Yo, speaking of California, they showed videos, or I saw videos of those wildfires out there.
Crazy.
Their freaking state's on fire, dude.
Somebody from there was telling me they woke up in the morning, looked outside, and they weren't like where the fires were happening. The fires were happening miles and miles and miles away. Yeah. The sky was orange, dude. The sky was like red. And there's like air warnings in the area, like, oh, this area it's not, the air's not safe here. Here the air is straight up hazardous, and you shouldn't be here anymore. In like these counties near it, and now over 40 people have died in the wildfires. Like that shit is no joke, man. You want to talk about a crazy situation? Could you imagine you're sitting there and then you hear that you have to evacuate because the whole area is going to be lit on fire? That's like saying hell is fucking is coming down on you right now. So run. Yeah. Get the fuck out.
Dude, those videos I saw, those pictures I saw, it's crazy. Like,
yeah.
It's still on fire, right? Like it's still happening.
Mm-hmm. They had a
spread.
They had a golf event in Silverado, which is Northern California.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the tournament, they had to rush to evacuate everybody because things were catching fire near them. And the wildfire was like barreling down. But like, think about that. That's fucking crazy. Like, oh, quick, you gotta go. There's a fire coming. What?
Yeah. That shit is nuts, man. All the fucking natural disaster shit.
Yeah.
What do you think about these conspiracy things for like Vegas? Is there like a second shooter or something like that? It's all bullshit, right?
I don't know. I haven't read about it, but I saw that some mainstream outlets were saying that there for a while looked like they suspected a second shooter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was some mainstream outlets that were like, now officials think, like now the police thought there was a second shooter involved or whatever. But I don't know if anything ever came of that. I don't know if they ever, fully thought that happened and then found the guy or found traces or leads or whatever.
I'm not a conspiracy person, though, are you?
No, not really. I mean, there are instances of conspiracies happening, but generally speaking, conspiracy, especially like Alex Jones style conspiracy theories, are just fucking made up. He thinks everything's a conspiracy. It's really ridiculous the number of things and the thing that gets me is he always says something's a conspiracy the day or the day after it happens. Like, motherfucker, the investigators don't even know everything that happened yet, and you're gonna tell me you got it? And that motherfucker said Sandy Hook was a conspiracy theory?
Yeah, that shit was insane.
And, like, at least have some fucking respect and, like, understand that the argument you made was, hey, Obama's doing this because he wants to come take everybody's guns. Well, then when Obama didn't take anybody's guns, your ass should have said, I was wrong. Because your whole fucking motive for why you said he did it didn't happen. So obviously something's wrong in your shitty theory
lunatic.
now, isn't it? Yeah, it's just fucked up, man. And then a lot of the family members of the people have been harassed by Alex Jones fans. A lot of family members of the Sandy Hook families have been harassed by Alex Jones fans. So like, your kid didn't die. Those were crisis actors and yada, yada, yada.
Trump saying that shit about fucking the other presidents not calling.
Oh,
Did you cover any stories on that?
I didn't cover that the other day, but I saw that story. It was in a press conference, and I covered some other stuff from the press conference. That's just one thing of 1,000 things he said that are crazy, but yeah, like, it's amazing how easy it is to just fact check what he says, and then they're like, you're just wrong. Like, why do you say that? For everybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, Trump said he like casually mentioned how, because they were like, why didn't you call any of the families of the troops who died in Niger, who got killed in Niger? And Trump was like, I have been calling families, and sometimes I write letters, sometimes I call them, sometimes I wait a few days before I call them, and, other presidents, some of them do it, some of them haven't done it, and, he went on, and...
He said Obama's name,
and then people were like, he did. Like, you just made that up.
I saw someone
What
tweet.
do we expect from a guy who said that shit about his birth certificate repeatedly?
Yeah.
He kept bringing up Obama's birth. Obama showed his short form birth certificate, his long form birth certificate, the fucking announcement in the Hawaii newspaper of his birth. And they were like, then what did Trump say after all that? He's like, show me your college transcripts. Like, motherfucker. Like, what the... Like, are you kidding me?
Show me an elementary school report card.
Yeah, like, he just kept moving the fucking goalposts. Show me this, show me this, show me this, and then show me that.
Show me your dick.
Even when you've proved me wrong.
Someone tweeted, was like, I'm still trying to understand why we had soldiers in Niger or something like that. Like, what the fuck are we even doing over there?
Yeah, that's one of the things, MSNBC covered this story and didn't even mention, like, the fact that we have troops in Niger and that maybe we shouldn't. And, like, why the fuck are we there? Like, they're just, like, that's, if you're resisting and that's your idea of resistance to Trump, then you're an idiot. You should be saying, we shouldn't have fucking troops in Niger. Why do we have troops in Niger? Why do we have 900 military bases around the world? Why do we have this unhinged lunatic who's in charge of the world's most powerful military ever? Like, wouldn't now be a good time to unwind the empire when you look at this madman who's now in control of it? But nobody says that. They're just like, oh my God, he said some mean shit about Obama. Let's only talk about that. Like, no, let's fucking get the troops out of Niger. We can talk about that, too. Let's talk about that, too.
Yeah. And then they were like, it's almost best that he didn't comment on it because he probably would pronounce it wrong.
Oh, yes. That tweet made me laugh. Yeah, because it's spelled Niger, and you show him that on a teleprompter, he'll be like, niggo.
Yeah. Oh, that shit had me dying.
Oh,
some people are fucking funny out there, man.
The thing I wanted to talk about is, I don't know if you saw, Trump went golfing like a zillion times, but he went golfing one day with Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham's like a big war hawk Republican senator. And they said afterwards that they said he shot a 73 when he played golf. Okay.
Trump or Graham?
Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Lindsey Graham said Trump shot 73. And, of course, Trump probably told him, like, go tell them I shot 73. Tremendous. And that is such a ridiculous claim. So, first of all, it was a rainy day, and it was a windy day. Okay? Second of all, that course is long. Third of all, he's 71 years old.
Yeah.
Fourth of all, par on that course is probably 71 or 72. So the argument is he shot 1 or 2 over par. Fourth of all, if we're on fourth, I lost count. Hale Irwin, who's one of the most accomplished golfers of all time and has played on the senior tour for a while now. His scoring average on that course that Trump supposedly shot 73 at is over 73. So according to Donald Trump, he plays one of the most difficult courses in the world in windy and wet conditions and beats one of the best senior golfers in the world ever. And, then that's such a ridiculous claim that
it's on some North Korea shit.
That even Golf Magazine wrote an article where they were like, no, you didn't, no. Highly unlikely, and here's the million reasons why. And then Chris Hayes did a little segment where he spoke about how there are people who've played with him who say, he'll pick up balls that are in the rough and go, oh, this is good. It's good. So, like, it's one thing that if there's, like, a 2-foot putt and you go, that's good, but pick that up. Like, you don't need to make a 2-footer. That's fine. Pick it up. Like, it's a gimme. It's, like a gentlemanly gesture in the middle of a round or whatever. But he won't even be on the green. And he'll be like, yeah, that's good. And he'll pick it up. And there were stories of him throwing balls on the ground when he thinks the cart is blocking him. And like, I found it over here after he hit one way out of bounds. And so he's just, and the reason I'm telling you guys all this, not that, hey, this issue is, super important, but it just shows you the kind of guy he is and his mindset. And it shows you, it's like, if you're willing to lie about something like that so nonchalantly, then what the fuck are you not lying about? Like, if you're willing to lie about this, because look, I play golf. I know how hard golf is. Donald Trump has the swing of a guy who shoots 90. He ain't shooting no fucking 73 on a rainy, windy day. Like, that just didn't happen. So when I saw that, I was like fucking... My initial reaction was, I know that's incorrect. But I was also like offended by how bad of a lie it is. It's just such an unnecessary lie, too.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't even have the ability, the self-perception to lie in a way where there's a question as to whether or not it's a lie. Like, if he said he shot 82... I'd go, maybe. He's got a swing of a guy who shoots 90, but maybe he shot 82. But no, he fucking goes 73. Like, that's the equivalent of him saying, like, remember when he said in the debate, like, when he mentioned, like, the size of his dick or something? He's like, he said something about small hands. If you have small hands and you have a problem somewhere else, I promise you I don't have a problem anywhere else. Saying that he shot 73 playing golf that day is like him saying he has a 10-inch dick. Like, that's how ridiculous it is. It's like him going, my dick is 10 inches. It's tremendous.
Like him saying he could beat McGrady one-on-one or something like that?
Yeah, it's saying something like that. Like, yes, exactly. Like, I just went and played ball at the YMCA, and I dropped 40 points on a bunch of 22-year-olds. That's like him saying that. That's what it is.
People know his shit is fucking all lies. It's just like, he's in his own fucking world, man.
But I don't understand how, when you know somebody is that ridiculous, how he still has 30, depending on what poll you look at, between 32 or 37% approval rating.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, it's a really low approval rating, don't get me wrong. In fact, one of the lowest in history of, like, modern presidents in terms of this point in their presidency. But, like, when you're telling fucking shit like that, like, you're just so obviously full of shit, how are people just not like, you know what, man, I'm done with you. Like, I'm done with it. Like, really, I'm going to defend you when you're saying shit like that? It's like a religion. It's like a fucking cult.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's so creepy.
And then
I want to play golf with him. I want to play golf with him and just destroy him. And be like...
Yeah, but he would tell you to fucking let people know he shot like a 54 or some shit. Yeah,
exactly. Tell them I beat you. Like, I'm not going to do that.
The video of the girl asking to be a flight attendant, you saw that shit?
No.
It was like some video they said surfaced of him on stage and like a lady, like some woman
I watched that.
Question.
It wasn't, they were making...
No, it wasn't bad,
but
it's just like...
in that.
He definitely does some OD shit on his plane, or used to, with his flight attendant.
Yeah. Well, we said it last time on the podcast. You were saying, like, he's the dude who decided, I'm going to buy the Miss America pageant.
Yeah,
like, I'm going to run the Miss America pageant. Well, what kind of a person does that? Well, somebody who wants to have access to all those women. Yeah, and be like, point. I have a lot of money, I'm tremendous. Want to touch my dick? Like, that's the kind of guy he is. For sure. But yeah, that video, I think people got to reel it in when they go, like, because I saw the video. They put
music to it, and they put, like, the background.
Like, I saw the video. He's just being creepy. That wasn't sexual assault. That was him, like, what was it? He was in a room full of women. Some woman asked a question or whatever and was, like, obviously, like, happy and bubbly and stuff. And he's like, why don't you come on stage, darling? Come on stage. And then she comes on stage, and he puts his arm around her or something. And people are like, that's sexual assault.
But then he did say, like, that he was interviewing a girl because she was beautiful. And they were like, Mr. Trump, she doesn't have any experience. And he was like, that's all right, I'm still going to interview. And then he was like, do you have any experience? And she was like, no. And he was like, well, when can you start?
Yeah. It's because he's saying she's hot and I'll hire her because she's hot.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is creepy, but that's not, he's not breaking a law or anything.
Yeah.
There are people who said that was sexual assault. I saw that video. That was not sexual assault.
I'm sure every woman out there at some point in their life have been, like, catcalled or like
Yeah,
like
catcalled for sure.
so if you're just coming out now and like saying some shit like and you're all like rowdy about this stuff, like you got to realize that like women take this shit every day,
Yeah, that's true. Definitely catcalling is a big one.
Yeah.
And I never, like, I didn't realize it, but if you're willing to listen, women will tell you their stories, and they all have stories of like just creepy fucking old dudes just saying the creepiest shit. And it's just like, damn, I did not know. Because, I feel like oftentimes, and maybe I'm guilty of this too, people just assume that, like, oh, I guess, people are going to more or less, other dudes are going to more or less act like me. You know what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to being around women. But that's not true. That's not true. Like, I was getting in a disagreement with my friend the other day because, you remember what's his name came out? Oh, what the fuck's his name? Terry Crews came out, and he was like,
he said he got sexually assaulted.
Like somebody touched his dick, and then I thought, damn, like a female executive touched his dick, and then it turns out no, it was a male executive touched his dick, and I was like, oh, now the story makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
And apparently it was at some party. I don't know if it was before an award show or after or during or whatever, but the guy like grabbed his dick and was like joking around or whatever, and my buddy was like kind of defending the guy who did it, and was like he was just joking around, like it was at a party and there were people around and stuff. And I was like, dude, would you ever do that? Like, would you ever do that? Like, I'm just joking around and I grabbed this guy's dick. Like, no, you wouldn't fucking do that. So if somebody's grabbing somebody's dick, I got news for you. He wants to grab some dick. Like, that's not like a, woohoo, look at me, I'm joking around. It's like, I want to feel the dick, and then they grab it. Yeah. So, and I was telling him, like, you can't.
He said he did it multiple times, too, right? Like, it wasn't just,
and
like,
then
a
apparently
joke.
the guy, my friend was like, oh, but the guy called the next day and apologized. And I was like, okay, but bottom line is, you can't just assume, like, if you would fuck around in some sort of innocent way and, like, I don't know, if me and you were playing basketball and you fucking pat me on the ass or something, like, that's totally innocent, obviously. Like, that's something different. But I think my friend was assuming that, like, since he might do some innocent shit, like pat somebody on the ass playing basketball, therefore, given the context of what happened with Terry Crews, like, whatever, get over it. But it's like, no, that's something totally different. You're getting your fucking dick grabbed by a random dude. There were people around. That doesn't ameliorate the situation and make it better. If somebody randomly grabbed my dick, I'd be like, what the fuck just happened here? If some dude randomly grabbed my dick. I'm like, what the fuck just happened here? This is absolutely ridiculous. Like, that's not cool. And anyway, the point is, for people who think like, oh, I'm pretty respectful, I assume other people are respectful. Like, no, there's situations of fucking dudes just grabbing up on women and whistling and catcalling, and it's just a matter of like, where's the line between you're an asshole and you just committed a crime? And it's probably literally grabbing and feeling and shit.
Yeah, and like fucking jerking off in front of them.
Oh, that's what Harvey Weinstein did.
I know. You ever see the video of the girl walking in New York City with like some yoga pants on?
I did, but I don't know if that one was real.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was almost too much where it felt like that shit is fake.
Yeah.
Because it was so much. Like, I get, like, I believe it when I've spoken to a bunch of women who were like, yeah, here's my story of being catcalled, yada, yada, yada. But it was literally like every dude walking down the street for her. You thought it was
crazy.
Real?
I mean, I think so. I mean,
really?
Like, it was crazy. Like, her body.
I don't know.
I can picture that in New York City. Like
not every dude, man. It was like every dude.
I feel like every dude looks.
If it was like 2 or 3 dudes on that walk, I'd be like, that probably real. But it was every fucking dude.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong, but on that one, I'm a little skeptical. And people could say that makes me an asshole, whatever. But I think that one was a little over the top.
That one, I don't know. I think that shit was real.
It could be. LeBron looks skinny. He looks skinnier than he did.
I paused it like a while ago.
Does he? I was gonna ask you, like, but you probably don't know. I was gonna say, do you know if he eats? It looks like he doesn't like low carb diet.
I think Dwayne Wade was doing that for a little bit, so maybe he got in it with him.
Because he looks skinny.
He's just built different. Like, I don't know how people are built like that.
But he's he was posting videos on like Instagram or something of him practicing,
Mm-hmm.
In the off season, I guess when he was gearing up for the season.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. Like he works hard, man.
He must have did something with his hair though, because
Again.
well, there was one point in the off season where he shaved his head bald, and he came out with a video, and everybody's like, "Oh, the new era has begun. Like bald LeBron is here."
And now it's back.
And now his shit is back. Like
he's probably doing the surgery.
But he had to have been or something. I mean, he's got plenty to do it.
I'm looking at it right now. Like he just put his head down. I'm looking at it right now, and it's like it looks good to in the backish area, and then once he gets to the front, it's like Brillo-y.
Yeah, it's thin.
It's like little sprinkles of hair. It's not like full.
Yeah, but from when he shaved it, like he was completely bald, so it had to have grown back.
Yeah, but
pretty decently.
He probably shaved it because he was had the things in the back of his head because he was doing the transplant.
Maybe. Yeah,
I would guess.
I thought that stuff takes a while though to do.
It does. It does take a while. He probably started the day after
Maybe
he finished last year.
Maybe. I don't know. I would do that shit.
The head coach of the Celtics is fucking young, man.
Brad Stevens is good, dude.
He looks like he's our age.
He knows his shit.
How old is he? Do you know how old he is?
No, but he definitely can't grow any facial hair because I think someone conned him in an interview once.
It looks like he can't.
I don't think he can.
Wow, he looks like a little kid. How do you get that job at such a young age? I'm saying that while she's like 45.
He's like 71. No. He knows his shit.
You saw Greg Popovich always goes after Trump. He does it
Popovich's a man.
On a weekly basis. He says something about Trump.
He's so awesome.
And he's also one of the best coaches of all time, probably, at this point.
He called him, what, a soulless coward, I think.
Something like that, yeah. Something like that.
And he told the dude, he was like, we're on the record, right? He was like, okay. And then just fucking ragged on him.
I always wait, like, there's going to be a day where Trump goes off on somebody he shouldn't go off. There was a decent chance he was going to go off on Eminem over that rap. And he didn't do it.
He knew better.
But there was a decent chance he was going to do it. Like, people were waiting, like, oh, God, I can't wait until the next day when he goes after him. But he didn't do it. And I was like,
what did you think of that rap, by the way? You thought it was
pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
It's just, you never know what's going to come out the next day. Like, that'll, transform the world.
You know, it was huge, too. Like, I feel
that's what I'm saying.
Everybody was like, oh, shit. You had, the entire rap world, but then also all of politics.
It was so funny to see Keith Olbermann's tweet.
He's such a loser. I'm so done with Keith.
But he actually, I gave him props because he had a tweet, I think, today after, Popovich said his shit. And he was like, after 27 years, I finally appreciate, the Spurs' greatness or something. It was some shit.
He got clowned on because he said some dumb shit.
Yeah.
After 27 years of being, skeptical, I finally, rap.
Yeah.
Somebody was clowning on him. I think Pixelated Boat, the Twitter account Pixelated Boat, who I retweet from time to time, was quoting ridiculous rhymes and showing Keith Olbermann's face surprise, where it was Eminem saying, I'm Eminem and I'm here to say Donald Trump is a bad president today.
And then Olbermann's face.
Oh, you got him.
I don't know how is he still doing that GQ thing? Do people does he have a following?
He does, but it's he's almost like the opposite of me in that he focuses on all the dumb shit. He's always screaming about Russia, Mr. President, you're a traitor to the nation, and it's
he's
shut
so
the fuck
corny
up.
sometimes.
Yeah, and what annoys me is that this is a guy who hasn't said a word about Medicare for all since the election. He hasn't said anything about Medicare for all or free college or living wage or any of the issues that matter. He's just I hate Trump. He wrote a book that's titled "Trump is fucking crazy." That's the fucking title of your book. Are you even trying? You're just fucking a ball of incoherent rage. We get it, dude. That's your whole shtick. But at least when you did it against Bush, you were talking about the Iraq War. You know, now you're talking about Russia.
Have you seen the guy running for mayor in New York?
No.
There was some debate with de Blasio, some woman, and then there's this guy who's just
Is it the rent is too damn high guy was back?
No. It's some crazy over the top, stereotypical New York Italian loud guy. You have to like look this up, man.
Oh,
Who I think John Oliver like did a segment on
What's
him.
his name?
I don't know his name, but like they said multiple times in the debate, they're like, cut his microphone off. Cut his microphone off. Please cut his microphone off.
Who said that? Was it the moderators?
The moderator, and then they had like 3 people from a panel like asking him questions.
Oh my god.
And they're like, I'm gonna have to like turn his mic off. Turn his mic. The guy was over. It was insane.
I gotta see this. This sounds like something I would love.
Yeah, he was like, and I mean, he's running for mayor of New York. Like he was on the same stage as De Blasio and whoever else the other girl was.
You always get some goofy characters like that. And look, that's why, like, there's got to be some process to who gets in. You just got to make it so that it's not a money primary. Like, that's what we have now. Like, you got to, for president, like, you got to raise so much fucking money to get into the debates that, like, only the like, it's basically corporations that decide who's going to be your choices, you know?
Yeah.
And then the Democrats and the Republicans collude and make the decision. But, like, if you really had it totally open where there's no barrier for who gets in, yeah, you'd have dudes like that and dudes like Rent is Too Damn High guy and, like, a dude in, like, a fucking Barney costume up there.
Because, like, a Yankees fitted on for, like, the New York mayor.
He had a fitted on?
No. What I'm saying, like, that's what you'll get when you have just, like, bozo candidates.
That would have made my day. If there's a guy in a Yankee fitted on stage, like, all right, look, here's the problem over there. We got too many rats in the subway, and me and my cousin Vinny, we were talking about it, and the coffee's god-awful over there down
too expensive nowadays. I'm trying to get a bagel on the corner.
I just want a bagel. And look, America's a good place, but...
Oh, man.
Oh, it's classic.
I got my Yankee shirt on, fucking dominated.
Oh, I was going to ask you about that since I don't follow MLB, but I heard Yankees have been doing well.
They're beasting now. Yeah, they lost the first 2 games, and they won today, and they won yesterday. So it's 2-2 now.
And then after this, what is there?
It would be the World Series.
It would be the World Series.
They got to win 2 more games. They have 1 more in New York, and then I think they go back to Houston for 2.
Damn.
People are thinking Houston's going to beast because, like, the whole, like, hurricane shit, and, like, it's just a good story, but...
You know what annoys me, man, is that, like, all I care about is the NBA and the Knicks, and they never win.
I know.
And, like, the Yankees, when we were young, they were dominant.
Yeah.
They were dominant when we were young. Like, they would win all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I would, even though I never watched baseball, I'd always remember growing up, like, oh, look, Yankees won again.
Yeah, they were winning every single year.
But I just never cared. And I'm a New Yorker, but I never cared about the New York Yankees because I just don't care about baseball. But I always cared about basketball, and it never won. And I also cared about hockey, but the last time the Rangers won was 1994, the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
When I was a kid. So I wasn't really able to appreciate it as much.
They made it to the finals, a couple of years ago when they played LA.
I was going to say, haven't they been far a few times? Since 94? They've gone, deep?
I mean, they've been in the playoffs the last couple of years, like, sort of deep, but, like, Pittsburgh, I think, just crushes it in hockey.
Yeah. But so, like, I never have the pleasure of watching anybody I like win.
That's true.
No team.
If you only like the Knicks, then you're going to... Well, you saw it in golf. Golf's, like, your number one sport, and Tiger was beasting when you were, like, a Tiger fan.
That's true. It took me years, though, before I started liking Tiger. It took me years.
Really?
He was like the over-prepared kid who was just almost like so good, and he made everybody else look so bad that I was almost like reeling in a little bit, dude. Like, you're making everybody else look bad. Like, I like John Daly more when I was younger.
Yeah.
You know,
he was just like, some nonchalant, not expecting.
Yeah, the everyman with the fucking long swing, and he hits it further than everybody. Like, he's everybody's favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But then I feel like it was around... It was actually the first time I realized Tiger was human and able to fuck up that I really started liking him. And that was when he shot 81, I think it was, at the British Open in 2002, when he was like going for the Grand Slam or something, like the calendar year Grand Slam.
Yeah, I remember.
2001 was when he won that. But yeah, 2002, he was going to win the British Open. And everybody thought he was going to win, and he shot like 81 in one of the rounds. And I was like, oh, wait. And that just put in perspective how amazing everything else he did was.
That's
I was
true.
like, oh, I thought he was, like, not human and, like, this, like, nerd who was just way better than everybody. But now I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, no, like, he had to bust his fucking ass to win all that other shit. And then, yeah, I liked him ever since then. But outside of him winning in golf, I don't have none of my sports teams win, but then again, it's only fucking the Knicks, really. That
Only the Knicks.
care about. But there are other NBA teams who I kind of like too, but they don't win either.
Like Denver.
Denver and the Rockets, and they don't win either. And they don't win either. So there's definitely somebody listening right now in Denver or in Houston who's like, "Oh shit, like that's your second or third favorite." Yeah,
I like the Nuggets too. They never win.
Yeah, they don't. But they were awesome in 08.
Yeah, but they're probably like getting high in Denver right now, and they probably like forgot already that we spoke about that 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, that's true. They're getting high as fuck. Damn. We should go to Denver and just smoke weed once, even though we don't smoke weed.
My sister lives in Denver. Denver's awesome. I like Denver a lot.
That's pretty cool that she's there.
Mm-hmm.
We don't smoke, but that's like, I feel like we should go to smoke, even though we don't smoke. I'd get too high the first time and be like, I'm done here.
Probably, yeah.
Because I don't respond well to weed. I get paranoid and shit.
Or even if I don't drink after a while and I have a couple beers, I mean, I feel it.
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, it's probably better when I'm drunk a little bit and then I smoke. When I've done it, when I just smoke, I get paranoid and shit. When I'm drunk,
yeah, it's no good.
It's like a balance.
I'm not a fan.
All right, son, let's wrap it up, and I'm gonna go watch this Golden State game. I'm sure you'll do the same.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that, and I gotta paint. Like we started painting like our rails in our house.
Painting your rails.
Like the stairs, like the shits to the side of them.
Indoors, indoors.
Yeah, okay. There's like 3 different sections.
Is it sheetrock or is it rails that are like metal?
No, like just paint, like wood.
Oh, so it's wood rails.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I have such more appreciation for like painters now because like they just come in, do that shit, and like primer, boom, bam, done.
What
whatever.
color are you painting it?
You're doing the rails brown and then like the spokes things white.
What color brown? Is it like a dark brown or
yeah, it's like brown? A darker brown.
Yeah, okay.
But you got to do coats.
And it's hard. It's not easy. You got to lay the things to make sure it doesn't drip.
Yep. Yeah. You got to wait 3 days so like fucking shit could dry. Fuck, man. Looking back on it, I was like, we should just pay someone to do this shit. But I'll appreciate it more maybe when we're done.
No, you won't. You'll wish somebody pay for it.
Yeah,
pay for it and just get it over with, man. I'm not handy.
Forever.
Nobody wants to be with me during the zombie apocalypse. Because during the zombie apocalypse, I will be dead weight. I won't be able to help anybody. I'll be like screaming my opinions from the back seat, and they'll be like, "We're escaping a horde. Somebody's shooting out the window, and the other person is driving and swerving to keep us alive. Stop talking."
Yeah, you're like, everybody be quiet, and you're just like, yo, there's a big ass fucking zombie right there, though, dude.
Oh yeah, you don't want me in the zombie apocalypse. Oh, by the way, final point I'll make real quick. You fucked up by not watching Fear the Walking Dead because that shit is so fire. They just
hot?
They just did the season finale before, and the whole time I'm going, this shit is so much better than The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead just fell off in the last season or two.
It did.
Fear the Walking Dead is like what The Walking Dead used to be.
Seriously?
Yeah, but that shit'll fall off now too, I bet.
It's been hot though, or
it's been hot. It's been hot. Right. It's been hot. I like Fear the
first
Walking
episode
Dead.
Was alright, but I was just like, I don't want to invest in this shit.
Well, that's the thing I feel you on that because I've had that feeling before too. Like I don't want to invest in it, but I'm happy I did it with Fear the Walking Dead. And the reason I did it is because I still wanted to keep watching The Walking Dead, but it was off the air because it was the end of the season, and they just started playing Fear the Walking Dead. I was like, this is close enough. It's like the same shit. So that's why I watched it.
And it got me tight because like during The Walking Dead, they kept doing those little like quick commercially things where they were on an airplane. And like nothing was actually happening.
Yeah.
And I was
they
just
were
like,
teasing,
stop.
and they were just teasing too much, and it's like, stop doing that. Either show me some shit or don't show me some shit.
Exactly. That got me tight.
But it was good. I now like it more than The Walking Dead. So we'll see what happens. I mean, The Walking Dead's got to. They can bounce back, but they got to have a banging season this season, and it looks like it's.
So you're still gonna watch?
I'm still gonna watch it. Yeah.
Back, right?
What's that? Yeah, it comes back this Sunday. Yeah, because Fear the Walking Dead was this past Sunday.
I'll watch. I'll watch
that's my exact reaction too with The Walking Dead now. Like, I'll watch because
that's all it is right now.
Yeah, it's the walking commercials and the walking procrastination. That's what it is.
Yep.
And it's walking, like they're fucking it up. It was a brilliant work of art. Now they're fucking it up.
Yep, and they're just dragging that shit out.
Yeah. All right, guys.
I saw a preview. I saw a preview of Carl like going up to some limo, and everybody's like, that's the limo from the first season, and he's back at the gas station where he was. And I was just like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they just procrastinated too much. That's it. Like you could have all of last season could have been like 2 episodes.
they had us reeled in, and then they fucking like just like kept us there for too long.
For the
where we
commercial
got
money,
sour.
yeah, for the commercial money. That's right.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we love you, and we'll talk to you soon. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.